when a world is as picturesque and beautiful as being shown in ancient Magus Bride, well, it's only a matter of time before you get to see a dark and seedy underbelly of it. Hopefully, it hasn't already come to pass, but, she kind of was kidnapped by a dragon, so... And it's been a while since a show has managed to capture my intrigue and imagination as easily as Mahoutsukai no Yome, and it really goes to show how good the art and, by extension I guess, the writing is in this. Not much in the way of action has happened, but a lot of world and character building. I'd like to see that continue. And so, get yourself comfortable, grab yourself a drink, and let's get going. I had my headphones up quite loud for some reason. Every time I hear this, even though it has only been 2.25 at this point, it brings a smile to my face. And I both kind of want it to continue and not change throughout the season, but I also want to see what else they can create. And as simple as I'm sure there was a sentence in there somewhere, but as simple as the sparkle effects are, it adds something. Definitely eager to learn more about Einsford. I can't remember his name. The value of golden lead is subjective. I mean, to a dog, both have the same value. And of course, a dragon attacks while you're taking a stroll through the moors. I had actually forgotten that he had travelled over to Iceland. Okay. So that's... It's going to be quite a sight, isn't it? Just turn around and there's blue eyes white dragon staring back at you. But selective breeding and eradication to make sure there are not many vicious dragons left. What of his pupils? Is he like a half-breed? I struggle to believe that no one has seen any of these creatures. Like, no scientist has just wandered across them, or anyone from doing a low altitude flight. dropping her in the water. A, can she swim? And B, she's wearing quite heavy clothing. They're in Iceland. I believe if it was up to her, she'd, choose not to, but is no one going to step in and do anything? Why did it turn into like a skylight? Is that some foreshadowing for for a future exposition dump? I don't think he gets much exercise to have that level of moss. Hmm. Yep, she is a conglomeration of quite a few things at the minute, and most of which are confusing. So his eyes, I mean, quite blind, I'm guessing, and very old. I mean, sure, you can be as cordial as you want now, but you did sweep her off her feet by in the jaws of a dragon. Ainsworth. Quite a useful ability. They can probably step out of the river, it might be quite cold. You don't quite look it. Yeah, that would be what would happen when you're submerged. Fire spirits. Eh, more efficient than a towel. So what is their history? Which also goes to say that there are mages hiding out all around the globe. Oh dear. Very boisterous children. Gui. I like Gui. Mainly because saying his name is fun. So I'm guessing no one's thought of getting some sort of agriculture in place to try and help with the food problem. I guess if dragons are carnivorous, it's going to be slightly difficult, but it shouldn't be that hard. I see an issue with that plan. Only one of them has a set of wings. I feel like their games are geared towards their own set of skills, so slightly unfair. Yeah, can't you wait your own? Each wait your turn for affection. Considering how this episode started, it turned a rather simple and somewhat sweet corner. Are those some very dilapidated wings on its back? I mean, no, she hasn't had much of a exposure to dragons, but yeah, for how's that how it happens? Hm. They turn into extra nourishment for foliage. Oh, this is a massive graveyard. Do they have a religion surrounding what's after life? Is that what you're getting into? They're all quite open to the concept of death. In what way? You can't fight time. How old has the is he? Like, how long has he lived, even for a dragon? The cycle of life. What is the emotion she's feeling to this? Does she have like heavily embedded trauma because of her mother, and by extension, everyone around her? Was that a past experience or attempt? Quite Quite an ability there. Using the last of his energy. If this will help, her calm her mind a little, I'm all for it. But what's Ainsworth doing while he's away? We're not seeing anything of him. He's there, but he's always in the background. Quite, quite the colourful sunset. I would have said that it could have been more animated, but that would go counter to what they're trying to show with the tranquility. So was that just like 10, 15 seconds straight of her face? Even if it is just in her mind, that would be quite exhilarating, I think. Wow, a battle between the old and the new. Yeah, as was experienced with the crystal field in that room. It's probably something you should impart onto her. There's been several instances where she's been easily abducted. For what we've seen of her past and experiences that she's had to go through. It's surprising to see how softly she's grown up. No, we might not have just we might have not seen it yet, but we haven't seen any potentially bad sides of her personality. And is he now a tree? How is she going to take those words, though? Using the acquaintances that she's learned, or met, sorry. Still, having a wand made from a dragon tree? Are they just, like, really in acceptance with how things are, or are they still slightly ignorant of what it means? Oh, yeah, there were some lindenbaum trees. Can't remember where they were now, but well, considering how long they live. She's had to experience quite a lot recently. Yeah, well, he got what he wanted. Nature can be beautiful and harsh simultaneously. Yeah, it might be quite good to show her how to restrain her powers right now. The okay, went a better way than where my mind went, but unless you're a Spartan or a Viking and death in battle is what you strive for, a peaceful passing should be something that would be quite a good priority to have. And as much as it might be quite to put these things and thoughts out of your mind and the inevitability, much like the dragons, we should all come to accept it at some point. That is life. Make your experiences beautiful as you can. And I hope you all find purpose, even if you have to strive for it yourself. I like it. It was some ominous shadows. But I really am enjoying this show, and I'm only ever so slightly annoyed that it lost out to something else. I can't remember what it was on the last poll that it was on. Because then I could have watched it earlier and sooner. But also I might not have been ready for its messages, so all things work out for a reason. That is life. C'est la vie, Shogunai. I'm sure I know one for German, but nope. This episode managed to not hide a rather big and potentially quite dark subject, and yet it didn't give it a glossy coat to hide the fact, but more shone a light to the other aspects that we should, take care of and actually think about and not dwell on anything else. And yeah, I really don't... She's not in a great headspace considering her past. The living should not envy the dead is a very, very good sentence. Where her growth will lead in the future is something that I am very intrigued to see. If you two are also eager to experience what the future holds with this show, make sure to let me know by liking the video, commenting down below, and to not miss anything, subscribing to the channel and turning on notifications can very, very aptly aid you. But the time has come, so please get some rest so that I can see you in the next one. And it's at times like these I need to thank my Patreons, because they are the rays of light to drag me up from the cold darkness that is the world of posting videos on the internet. But I do enjoy it. So to Florida Taku, Sal, Ray Wynn, Yuki Ali, Aegis TR, Denimed 1997, Louis Almanza, Aisha M, Danny Shree, and all of my other Patreons, once again, look after yourself, and thank you.